Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, one of my ex-girlfriends used to help her dad make moonshine. I miss her still. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my top 50 GMT games of all time. Today, we're taking a look at number 40 through number 31. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're taking a look at my top 50 GMT games. We're looking at 40 through 31. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. My number 40 is the first type of this game you'll see on this list, but I'll tell you right now, it won't be the last. This is a coin game. This is People Power. People Power is a great coin game set in the 1980s in the Philippines, where, of course, you have demonstrations, you have corrupt politicians, you got kooky commies. You got a lot of fun stuff going on there, but you got three different factions. Of course, it's asymmetrical. They each want their own thing. You've got event cards coming up, and the event cards tell people which faction is going to go when. You're going to go ahead and play the play to try to get your faction's specific victory conditions met, and you're going to get the like scoring cards are going to come up fairly randomly throughout the game, and that's when you're going to go ahead and score and figure out where everybody is. Now, this is the first coin game I played, not counting Vijay Nagara, which is coin adjacent, that is a three-player game. I liked the dynamic of three players in a coin game. I liked how you're playing through the cards, and you are doing your actions and your special actions. I liked how that worked when you were just looking at two other people across the board instead of three with a regular coin game. I thought that was really a lot of fun. It was really interesting, and it was really fun here in this game to learn a lot about what was going on in the Philippines at the time. I remember when I was a kid, and Ferdinand Marcos was in charge. I remember when he stepped down and Corazon Aquino became the leader, and I remember everybody always talking about that, and I had no idea what they were talking about. I didn't even know where the Philippines was, but I remember all that stuff playing out, and it's kind of fun now to go back and learn more about that time period there in history. And it was great. We played with Al, and Al was in the military, and he actually spent a lot of time in the 80s in the Philippines, and he was kind of filling in the gaps for us and teaching us about it. Anyway, very fun game. That is my number 40, People Power. My number 39 is a great CDG. This is Caesar, Rome versus Gaul. So this is a two-player game. One of you takes the role of Caesar, the Romans. One of you are the Gauls. And, of course, you're trying to move throughout Gaul and conquer. The Romans are trying to conquer and take over various areas. And, of course, you've got the great card play here. This is kind of in the same vein as, Hannibal and Hamilcar, or what was the other one that was like that I really enjoyed? Successors. So there's it's kind of in the same vein of those games where you are playing the cards that, again, you do the events, or you do the points to do different things on the board. It's a political battle as much as it is a military battle, and it is a lot of fun. There's a lot going on in this game. It was a relatively heavy game, but I really enjoyed it. Sadly, this is one that is no longer in my collection. I did end up giving this away during one of the purges, but I really did enjoy it. So this is Caesar, Rome versus Gaul. That is my number 39. My number 38 is a game I played in Texas years ago for the first time, and this is Fort Sumter. I think this is a Mark Herman design, and this is a great one where it's one of these lunchtime games that you can play very quickly. Plays in under 60 minutes, probably a lot faster than that once you really get into the game. And it's a card game where you're trying to get the dimensions on the board. One of you is the secessionists, one of you is the Union, and you're each trying to play these cards to gain more control over different areas on the board. And kind of how you can play and where you can play is important, and you're kind of unlocking more cubes that you can use during the course of the game. It's really a lot of fun with some great challenges, and like I say, it plays very quickly. So this is a game you can sit down if you want that kind of Twilight struggle feel in a game but don't have the time. This scratches that itch. Again, sadly, not a game I have in my collection anymore. Can't keep them all. But that is Fort Sumter. That is my 38. My number 37 is Ancient Civilizations of the Inner Sea. This is a game that looks like a civilization building game. You've got all these empires around the Mediterranean Sea. You're using these discs for your units on the board, but also your cities, also your currency. It looks like, a traditional civilization building game, but really at its heart, it's a take that game. You are playing cards in this game, trying to screw over your neighbors, screw over your enemies as you're trying to survive, cling on, and weather the blows that your enemies are delivering to you. It's tremendous fun. It's a great game. It can be a little long, especially if you're playing with kind of a higher player count. But it is so good. I really enjoy it. Now I'll tell you right now, I no longer have this one in my collection because there's another game that's very similar that I felt like I didn't need two of them. But Ancient Civilizations of the Inner Sea is a tremendously fun, take that game in the cloak of a civilization building game. Really enjoyed it quite a bit. That is my number 37, Ancient Civilizations of the Inner Sea. My number 36 is another coin game. This is a game I played not too long ago. Now I'll tell you right now, I felt the game was a little heavier than I liked it, and I haven't played some of the super heavy coin games yet. So it was a little heavier than I would have enjoyed, but I thought the way the game came together and the way the factions interacted with each other was really great. We played this game a few times, and this is Red Dust Rebellion. Red Dust Rebellion is a coin game on Mars. It's a science fiction coin game, and it is really, really interesting. Like I say, the way the different factions play off each other, and how you kind of have to have some factions allied with each other in some ways, but again, there can be only one winner, and you're trying to go for that asymmetric play. And then, of course, you've got the great card system here where the cards tell you the order that you go in, and how you select what turns and what actions and options you're going to do each turn. It's really quite fun. And like I say, it's a pretty long game, and it's a kind of a heavier game to learn. If it had been streamlined a little bit, I probably would have liked this one a lot more. But if you like coin games and you like a science fiction theme, I really think you'll get a kick out of Red Dust Rebellion. So that is my number 36, Red Dust Rebellion. My number 35 is a game that, we played a couple of years ago for the first time. I know there's an expansion for it coming out. And this is kind of a game that is just goofy fun. It's a Luttman design, and this is the Plum Island Horror. The Plum Island Horror is a cooperative horror game in which there is some kind of a nuclear accident or toxic waste accident on this island, and you and your friends you take on the roles of kind of teams. You're like a faction, and you've got different figures on the board that can do different things. And you've got the National Guard, or you've got paramedics or cops or whatever, and you're each running around trying to escort people off the island, trying to get them off the island. And it's kind of the more people you save, the more people you get off. But there's bag draws here to determine events and stuff like that. You're collecting items and doing searches. So it's really fun and interesting, and it feels like kind of a bad B movie. But there's some really fun choices in here, and I think the game just it absolutely works if you want that kind of goofy, fun horror experience. Tremendous fun. So that is Plum Island Horror. That is my number 35. My number 34 is a game that honestly I wasn't that interested in, and then I actually saw Tom Vazel do a review of it, and I thought, oh my gosh, that actually looks pretty fun. And this is Thunder Alley. Thunder Alley is a great racing game, NASCAR, I believe. You have teams of cars, and you're essentially, whenever you play a card, your cars kind of move along with that card, but they will push other cars in front of them forward, or they will pull other cars, and how you move affects other cars on the board. And so what I really liked about this game is you were always paying attention to the board, even when it wasn't your turn, because the position of your own cars was moving frequently. It was a really, really fun system that I absolutely got a kick out of. I played this game a lot back in the day, and I actually got rid of this game. I ended up giving this game to a friend because there's another game that kind of scratches this itch. I'll talk about that probably later. But it's a great racing game, a card-driven racing game. If you like racing games, Thunder Alley is amazing. So that is my number 34, Thunder Alley. My number 33 is another one of these lunchtime, 45-minute or so games. Probably, well, it is. It's my favorite of these so far. But this is the Bell of Treason. it takes place during the era of the Munich Pact in 1938 in Czechoslovakia. And essentially, you are the Czechoslovaks, and one of you wants to kind of surrender more or less to Hitler, lay down before Hitler, and the other side would prefer to fight Hitler. And again, you've got different dimensions. You've got you've got the politicians, the president, and you've got the army. You've also got kind of the foreigners. You got like Neville Chamberlain and Daladier, and I think Stalin's on there. And you got influence all around the board. You're trying to place out there. But again, you're playing cards every round. You're always conserving a card. You can play cards that are in the discard pile, so you got to watch what you play sometimes because you don't want your enemy to get it. Really fun game and a great theme, some great history here, and like I say, I like Fort Sumter and I like Red Flag over Paris, but of those three, this one I think to me the theme and the gameplay was the best. So that is the Bell of Treason. That is my number 33. My number 32 is another World War II game, and this is In the Shadows: Resistance in France. This is a game where you are either the Germans, occupiers, or the French resistance, and you are trying to, again, through card play, you're trying to get your objectives. You're trying to make life untenable for the Germans as much as you can if you're the resistance, and you're trying to crack down and find the various resistance cells if you are the Germans. And there's great kind of things you can do here for betrayal. Some of your units can turn out to be traitors. You've got the Germans are trying to smuggle stuff out of France back to Berlin. You're trying to stop that. There's just some really fun and interesting card play in this game. And, it's a little board. It's a fairly quick game, but it packs a huge punch. I love the World War II theme, and I just love how this game plays out. So that is In the Shadows: Resistance in France, and that is my number 32. My number 31, going back to science fiction, my number 31 is SpaceCorp. SpaceCorp is a great game of it starts out in the near future where various corporations are attempting to go out into the solar system. And you start with the solar system board, and you go out to the different planets. You are building up colonies, planets and asteroids. You're building up colonies. You're trying to build the best engine here to let you do that. Now, as the game progresses, the timeline grows, and you actually kind of go out into our stellar neighborhood and start looking at different stars, and then even further out. And so the game kind of grows and expands, and kind of the science that you need and that you play on your board, that grows as well as you're trying to build these big kind of corporate space empires. It's very fun, a very good game. Sadly, this is a game I had down in Texas, and I actually had a buddy of mine in Texas that really wanted it, and I think I ended up giving it to him, if I remember correctly. But it was a fun game, and thinking about it now, I kind of sad I don't have that one anymore. But that is my number one. That is SpaceCorp. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that is my top 50 GMT games, 40 through 31. What did you think? Did you like these games? Do you think they should have been higher? Do you think they shouldn't have been on the list at all? Let me know. Please, please, please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook, on X. We'd love to hear from you. Please, I would ask you, if you like this video, give us a thumb up, and subscribe to the channel. That helps us out a lot. And if you really do like what we do here, check out my other channel. That is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history, books on history, fun things like that. If you would subscribe to that, it would make my day. I really appreciate it. And again, if you really do like what we do here on The Discriminating Gamer, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. I recently read a study that said that 70% of the people on the planet Earth are stupid. Man, I tell you, I'm glad I'm part of the 40%. Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. God knows that I love to fight, but I don't ever win. It's a fine line to damnation, but God let me in.
Oh, hey!
Hi.
I didn't think you were gonna make it.
I know. I'm sorry I'm late. I had this friend come over who actually convinced me he was the king of America or some stupid thing like that. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just glad I'm here with you. It doesn't matter.
Oh, no, I'm glad you're here too. I have a little confession. I have had a crush on you for a couple months.
Really?
Yeah?
I can't believe that. I've had a crush on you forever. I can't believe this. A beautiful woman has a crush on
Oh my
me.
god! You
I don't know
know,
what to say.
no, I really do. And it just seemed like we had so much in common. And
I know. What's your favorite board game?
oh, I don't really like board games, so.